Good morning. I'm Cindy Rising. Something that always makes me feel really joyful is doing things for other people. You know, that feeling that you get in your heart when you know you've helped brighten someone else's day? That is God's love working through us. During this third week of Lent, we are focusing on giving out to our neighbor. Our church community already gives out to our neighbors in so many big ways. Supporting the Waste Not Want Not community meal, supporting the weekly food share van, participating in trips to Appalachia, Ecuador, Simply Smiles, and Heads of Hartford prior to COVID-19. But we shouldn't underestimate the power that even the smallest acts can have. Taking the time to do something as simple as writing a letter. Many years ago, when my children were in grade school, I wrote a letter of support to a school administrator who was dealing with a series of really unique challenges and being, I thought, unfairly criticized by many for something that was out of this individual's control. I completely forgot about this letter. 9 years later, this person approached me at a town event and took me aside and let me know how much that letter meant. It had been really a challenging time for this person, and it was so appreciated, and this individual said they would never forget it. I didn't even remember the letter, but the recipient did. Think about someone who could use a lift. Maybe someone who lives alone, an elderly person who may be feeling lonely, someone who just experienced a loss, a nurse, a teacher, a parent who is struggling to work and help their child with remote learning. Write them a letter, make or send them a card, pick up the phone and call them, or even just send a note to someone you admire and let them know that. It will not only feel good, but it may be the difference for many between feeling despair or having hope during this difficult pandemic. Consider sharing your talent. We've seen so many wonderful examples at South Church and in our greater Granby community of using our talent to help our neighbors. The making of masks was an incredible gift of love. The building of picnic tables for folks to be able to eat outside of the church. The painting of rocks with inspirational messages being left around town. I have a friend who is using her sewing skills to make and donate quilts to hospitals for premature babies. What talents do you have that you can share? Perhaps it is using your business skills to reach out and mentor a young person with career advice or with their resume, or to help them practice and develop interview skills. How about reaching out to some of our neighbors who have helped us through the pandemic? At Christmas time, I baked cookies, wrote out thank you notes, and gave bonuses to our Amazon, FedEx, and mail delivery drivers. It was really fun to wait for them to come and give this to them and see their expression. They were so happy. Perhaps if you are able, think about leaving a larger than usual tip for the restaurant worker on your next takeout order. Send some flowers to the nursing station of a hospital, or drop off a meal or gift card to an EMT or firefighter. A friend of mine recently filled out Valentines, you know, the kind we did as kids, and delivered them to the grocery workers in all of the stores she had been shopping at during the pandemic. How great is that? Goodness is contagious. Small acts of kindness are great acts of love. Try a few of these this week and feel your own spirits rise. Let someone go ahead of you in the grocery line. Let someone in a line of traffic. Open the door or hold the door open for someone. Make eye contact. Smile with your eyes above your mask. Wave. Pay a compliment to someone. Buy someone you don't know their cup of coffee. Goodness matters. My friend, Jeannie, I'll call her, had suffered a heart-wrenching loss in her life. She, out of the goodness of her heart, decided to look outside of herself to make a difference for someone else. She ended up reaching out to an elderly neighbor and found that her neighbor could use some assistance with meals. Jeannie began and continues to deliver a meal each week to so kindly help out her neighbor. During her very difficult time of grief, she was still able to open her heart to serve others. This has given Jeannie some purpose and hope. One small kindness leads to so much more. Everyone is our neighbor, no matter where they live. Our neighbor can be a friend, an acquaintance, or a stranger, as well as the person who lives next door. Think about how you can share your time with a letter, a card, a phone call, or a meal. Your talent or your spirit of goodness, whether offering a service, a compliment, comfort, or joy. When you choose to act out of kindness, compassion, and love, you are a conduit of God's love. During Lent and hopefully beyond, in addition to giving out to ourselves and giving out to family as Heather, Jody, and Britta have so beautifully inspired us to, I hope you are able to carve out a little time to share your heart and spread some goodness to your neighbor.